Why do some men feel so entitled towards women and their body? Why do some men think women should not have autonomy?
Autonomy is one of the most important things in any relationship. Anytime you violate your partner's autonomy, you are causing conflict. That means controlling behavior, telling someone what to do or how they have to do it. Begging, pleading, manipulating, threatening. Oh no, please, can't you do it? Please, 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 after they've already said no. Not respecting no, not respecting boundaries, not respecting their personal space or requests. As human beings, we are wired for autonomy.
Women should not have the right to make decisions. Women should be treated like slaves. Why do they even perceive women as properties, as something they can own? Isn't that the master and slave kind of relationship?
Fellas, your woman is not your maid, she's not your slave. Y'all are partners for a reason. So it's okay for you to go wash some dishes and get your hands dirty. It's okay to go throw some clothes in the washer and wash the clothes. It's okay to fold some clothes. It's okay to make that bed up and have that house clean when she come home. It's okay. That will not make you less of a man. That will make her respect you more.
Dating these days is like someone walking through a jungle with a lot of wild animals ready to devour unprovoked. Going on dates is so dreadful for a lot of women for so many reasons.
You think you've had a hard time dating? I once went on a date with a guy, ABC Cosina, and he showed up with an overnight bag. And I just knew it was an overnight bag. I knew it wasn't a gym bag. At the end of the date, he's like, oh, I'll call us a car. I said, okay, cool. He hands me his phone. He said, put in your address. I said, well, why don't you put in your address and then I'll put in mine? And he was like, no, we're going back to yours. And I said, no, we're not. It's not a homeless shelter. I'm not taking in strays. We're not doing that. It's not happening. You're going home and I'm going home. So if you want to call me a car home, that's great. And once I told him that, he said he wasn't going to call me a car. And I said, that's fine. I'll call my own car. Peace out, Girl Scout. To the man that brought his overnight bag to my date. Are you dumb or stupid?
Who does that? How can a man show up for a date with a sleeping bag? So he had the hopes of passing the night at the lady's place. Isn't that crazy? What was he thinking? Oh, because you went on a date with this lady, so you now have the right to invade her space and her belongings. Does even going on a date with a man give the man the right to think that he's entitled to having sex because he paid for the meal?
I've always wanted to talk about this. A few weeks ago, I went out with a guy that I met through mutual friends. And when we left the lounge that we've been at, he called us an Uber. I put my address in first. So I was the first drop off. We get in the Uber and I quickly realized that we're going in the direction of his neighborhood and not mine. So I asked him, what happened? I was supposed to get dropped off first. That's so weird. There's only one stop. We'll just come up to my apartment and we'll call you another Uber. I'm not stupid. I know immediately this guy just straight up canceled my stop. We get to his apartment and I go into the lobby. Come up to my apartment. I'll call you an Uber from my apartment. I'm not going up to your apartment. We go back and forth for a moment and fine, I'll call my own Uber. He says to me, can you please just stop making it creepy and weird? You canceled my stop on the Uber and now you're standing in front of the door so that I can't leave. It's creepy and it's weird. Fine, get out. Kicks me out in front of his apartment and slams the apartment door behind me. It was so loud, so aggressive. There's no way the entire building didn't hear. Men will know they're making you uncomfortable. They will be visibly crossing all of your very clear boundaries. They'll be weird, they'll be creepy, they'll try to pressure you. In their mind, none of it matters, none of it counts. If they get what they want out of it, nothing else matters.
Crazy things are really happening in the dating sphere. Ladies, you need to know your worth. You need to set boundaries. You need to have value for yourself. Some men obviously have truly lost it. What's up with the entitlement mentality that some men continually display towards women? What's going on? Let's hear this man pour out his failed dating frustration and how he struggled to get a lady.
I don't understand today's dating world. I take girls on nice dates, I get them flowers, I'm emotionally available, I go to the gym, it doesn't matter what I do. And yet every time I get the same outcome.
Imagine having such little self-awareness that you publicly post a video saying that you keep going on dates with different women and every woman isn't interested in continuing dating you, but there must be something wrong with all of those women rather than thinking it might be you that's the issue. Genuinely, I don't think this guy has a clue of how he's coming across. And I saw a video yesterday of a woman ending a date at the end of the night, but because the man had paid for the meal, he somehow thought that that entitled him to more, so he ended up being abusive. And do you know what? All of this work that I've been doing, all of the attitudes that I'm seeing, and we're not talking about just violent men, we're talking about something that is at the core of this male attitude of the misogyny, but also the violence. And that one core attitude is entitlement.
Some men struggle with rejection and they can't stand having a woman say no to them. If you've decided to walk up to a total stranger, to have a conversation with a stranger, or to even ask a favor from the stranger, then you should be open to getting rejected, because one, this person does not know you, so the likelihood of getting rejected should be high. And I believe every man should think that way, but I don't think that's the case, because a lot of men see rejection as a huge bruise on their ego. Men are constantly disrespecting their fellow men. How can you insist on dating a woman that politely told you that she is married? Men are their fellow men's downfall.
It needs to be nice to you. I don't know you. I don't even know your name. I don't know you. It's not a problem because it's not my problem. Yeah, I think I'm so special that I don't have to be nice to you.
And sadly, these are some of the quote-unquote good guys that can't get women. Like, why does this woman have to tell you more than once that she's not interested? And then when she goes from being polite to telling you more forcefully to get out of her face so that she's not interested, now you want to act like she owes it to you. Nobody owes it to you to hold a conversation with you. Nobody owes it to you to be nice to you once she's already told you no thank you and you keep persisting.
So how old are you? I'm gonna have to get a Snapchat and then we can talk more.
Oh, that's okay. I'm married.
I know, I'm not worried about that. See, you assume.
Yeah.
See how you assume now you made it.
Do you see the gaslighting that happens to women in everyday situations? People wonder why we're constantly doubting ourselves, and it's because no one gives us permission to actually trust ourselves. This woman says she's married in an attempt to end the conversation, and he accuses her of being judgmental and implying that he's hitting on her. But she wasn't implying anything. He was hitting on her. And he proves that in the way he responds, because men only get that angry when they're faced with rejection. If he was a good man, he would have respected the no instead of trying to shame her for saying it. But
I'm being forced to believe that some men getting a no from a woman cuts them deeply, especially those toxic masculine men that view women as challenges that needs to be conquered.
Tell us women, why can't y'all take no for an answer?
Because a woman's no means absolutely nothing to some men. Some men do not see women as human beings with autonomy. They see them as objects that they need to conquer. Some men see a woman's no as an obstacle, something that they have to climb every mountain, forge every stream, follow every rainbow until they say yes. And that's not how women work. Wearing a woman down until she says yes is a tale as old as time. It's a popular trope in so many movies. Like in Revenge of the Nerds, Lewis wants to date Betty Childs, the cheerleader. She says no. A lot of stuff happens and he ends up taking her boyfriend's costume, dressing up as him, so he gets it on with her in the fun house. That's straight up assault, but it's played up for laughs. It's just the entitlement for me. So many men are raised to believe that if a girl says no, they have to do everything they can to make her say yes. We teach our sons to shoot their shot when there's a pretty girl they want to go out with, but we don't teach them about how to handle rejection.
Women are not scared of being alone anymore. Women are speaking up and accepting things for the way they truly are when it comes to relationship and marriage. They don't want the struggle love anymore, and they don't want to date the low effort men anymore. They say relationships and marriages benefit men more than it benefits women. So if that's the case, why should a woman be in a relationship that does not benefit her? The person you choose to spend the rest of your life with can either make or mar you. So you have to be careful when you're choosing a life partner.
They'll say to me like, aren't you scared being single in your 30s? And I'm like, no.
People tend to forget that men actually end up with the longer end of the stick in marriage. The happiest people on earth are married men and unmarried women. The highest rate in suicides are divorced men and married women. So if we look at these facts and statistics, it is quite obvious that women are actually very happy on their own. But society likes to keep it a secret. Why, you ask? Well, society is run by men. And they wouldn't want us to know that we're happy without them. Because men always benefit from marriage, where women not so much.
I don't know if people are aware of this, but the most important decision you will ever make in your life after choosing to believe in God is the mate you choose to spend the rest of your life with. Your mate will either inspire you to grow into your greatness or they'll confine you to complacency. They'll either be your other half or they'll make you half of yourself. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, like, a good relationship will make you more youthful and bring out the best in you, and a bad one will age you prematurely and bring out the worst. So choose wisely.
Due to societal pressure of, oh, you need to marry because you are of this certain age, and the fear of being alone, in the past, a lot of women settled with men that are of low quality, men that are deadbeat, men that are not willing to put in the work when it comes to making relationship work. Over time, women have come to the realization that staying alone, being single, gives them peace and sanity, and they will choose that over being in a relationship with a low quality deadbeat man.
To everyone who thinks being single is scary, let me show you something that's even scarier than cats. It's not cats, by the way. No, scarier than being alone is settling down with the first person you meet, just out of fear of being alone. And then 10, 20, 30 years from now, realizing after you've given up on all your dreams, after you've destroyed your mental health, and you've destroyed what your perception of a relationship should look like, to come to the realization one day, what have I done? And then you have to start all over again, but now you're 10, 20, 30 years older. That is scary. So don't compromise just because you're scared of being alone. Be selective. That'll come, I hope.
There's nothing a man should fear more than a woman who's comfortable being alone. You are now competing with me. You're not competing with other guys. I am good being alone. I am fine. So you have to be better than me. You have to make it so that I want to be with you instead of being with me. How are you going to do that?
Women are tired of putting up with the BS some men serve in relationships and marriages. You get into a relationship with a man, it becomes a struggle. You lose brain cells, your mental health is going down the drain, everything is a mental war, everything is stressful, you start growing gray hair, you start losing hair, the emotional stress, the mental stress, you have to cater for a grown-up as a baby. It's just too much stress. Nobody wants to deal with that. Women are washing their hands off and saying, we don't want to deal with that anymore. We are done. We'd rather focus on making money, living alone, and traveling rather than being in such a relationship.
I've been single for 6.5 years, and a very common question has been, do you want a relationship? To which my favourite reply is, it depends what type. It's a common mistake to think that being in a relationship and being single are in any way comparative. Of course, individuals have their own experiences, but there are as many ways to be single as there are types of relationship, which of course relies on the relationship you build with yourself and with other people, which again, there's lots of ways to do. I don't really care for the labels of being single or in a relationship as much as I do my spiritual, mental, emotional well-being and fulfillment while having those experiences. So if you're asking me if I'd rather have a relationship for the sake of having a relationship, the simple answer is no. Because to trade everything I have, it really depends what type.
Women have that clock that they have to take care of themselves, and women actually outlive men. That stress that comes with being in a relationship can't really deal with that. So I feel like a lot of women are choosing to be single, plus dealing with the cheating and stuff like that. They could just be alone.
Some people are happy being single. They rather do whatever they want, do as they please, don't have to answer to nobody. Oh, I'm here, I'm there. Somebody checking their location, pulling up, I'm outside. Some people go through that, and that's what makes relationships now these days don't seem appealing to people. That's why they rather be single.
But also, define single. You mean single, but you still dealing with people? Or you single and you're like by yourself? Because even if you're not in a committed relationship and you have a sneaky link or something, that's still a relationship. The happiest times that I've had have been when I've been making money. Forget the relationship. If I'm grinding and I'm making my money, that's when I'm the most happiest, whether I have a man or not.
I think that a lot of men think that they're more of a prize than what they really are. This is the thing.
Heavy on that.
Men really think that women are jealous of the woman that they choose to be like their quote unquote main. And what they don't realize is that a lot of single women are so much happier single because they don't have to deal with the mess from a man. I don't have to be worried about what's going on a man's phone. I don't have to worry about catching a sexually transmitted disease because he decides to cheat.
Heavy on it.
I don't have to worry about any type of stress because I'm not with a man that's cheating, and I'm not with a man, period. I feel like men try to make it seem like they're this God's gift to the earth, and they don't realize, like, y'all aren't. And women don't actually want to be your wife, or women don't want to be your main. We're not worried about it.
It's not a do or die affair that you must be in a relationship. Everyone must not be in a relationship. Everyone must not get married. Marriage is not meant for everybody. Relationship is not meant for everybody. If you feel like you're amongst those people that don't want to get married, it's okay to do you. You don't have to succumb to societal pressure and settle for less. You don't have to listen to what people are saying around you and jump into a relationship or marriage that is not serving you. Choose peace of mind and sanity every day, every time. Because there is life beyond relationship and marriage. When you get married, what happens afterwards? The torture begins. That's if you end up with a bad person, a bad partner. These days, dating is hell. Honestly, people are complaining. I don't know what's happening with the recent generation, but things are tough when it comes to dating. People are choosing to be by themselves and not get into the dating pool because of the men that they are meeting there, and vice versa. So if you know that it's not going to serve you, do you. Focus on what gives you peace and joy. Focus on what makes you happy.
Alone. Well, then so be it. Only one scared to die alone are y'all. We good. Let us be.
But let's have a really candid discussion about this. This creator has some very good points in her video, and I love that. But I also think that, I don't know, men, do you think we're bluffing? Do you think that we will not choose the extinction of our race over continuing to be treated like we're only here to serve you? I feel like that's a real thing that we are demonstrating. Like, more and more women are choosing to be single instead of accepting even the bare minimum from men. Am I wrong? I will choose the extinction of our race over the bar being on the ground, you know?
A video that went viral recently about how women are prioritizing peace over low-grade, low-effort relationships with men. And the number one comment that I got from men was, well, fine, if you can live without us, we're just not going to protect you anymore. So first of all, who exactly are you protecting us from? Is it Sarah that we're afraid is going to break into our home and assault us? Or is it men? Is it men that you're protecting us from? Secondly, when women say that we'd rather have peace and safety, we're not talking about physical safety. We're talking about emotional safety. The reason there is an epidemic of lonely, depressed men is because women would rather be alone than in an emotionally unsafe relationship. I feel that we're in emotional danger when we can't be vulnerable and express how we feel. We're being constantly criticized or put down or ignored. Or all the men run to the comments and say, well, we want to be valued too. Yes, you deserve that. But why are 72% of divorces initiated by women? And why statistically are women thriving in singledom and men are not? It is because women en masse are willing to put in the work, be self-reflective, and do what it takes to show up, and men simply are not.
You know something, people keep asking me why I'm single, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm single because I refuse to settle and entertain all these fuckboys about, and join the trend of playing mind games and acting like a child, quite frankly. I mean, at my age, I only wish to engage with people who are at my level of maturity, and that includes emotional maturity. I'm single because I will not just allow anyone in my life and in my kid's life, if they're not bringing substance, if they're not bringing integrity, if they're not bringing honesty, respect. I refuse, to settle for being second best or being treated like an option as well. If I'm not made a priority, then I don't want it. I know what I deserve and I know what I bring to the table. I'm a very good mom and I take a fucking good care of my children. I don't need anyone walking into my life and messing with my head and ruining what I've got going on for myself. I fight for myself. I'm independent. I am not interested in all this shallow shit that everyone's going on about, you know, girls gold digging guys and all this crap. I pay my own bills, you know, I've got my own back. And quite frankly, if anyone is gonna walk into my life, they need to be bringing something meaningful. You know, they need to be my support emotionally.
Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think men can survive without having women in their lives? Watch this video to see how men struggle, how miserable men are without women in their lives. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.